Welcome to Fair Game. I'm Kristine Leahy. My guest today took the sports entertainment world by storm this past year by stealing the show at every WWE event she walked into, including the main event of WrestleMania 35. She's currently the Raw Women's Champion, full of charm, full of harm, and ready to break your arm. The man, Becky Lynch. It's great to meet you.
Nice to meet you. That was a hell of an introduction. I appreciate it.
We try to make everyone feel very comfortable here. The man, though.
Yes.
That is, I wouldn't look at you and say the man, but I do love the story behind it, because it's really like an inside thing, right?
Well, yes, it's about being the top dog. It's so in our industry, especially in sports and in any walk of life in general, the top dog, the most exceptional person, has always been referred to as the man. Like, oh, that's the man. But until now, that the man has always been a man. And so when I decided to take over WWE, it's like, oh, well, now I'm the man.
I heard that you kept a journal your entire life, right?
My whole life, yeah.
What did you write in your journal the night after WrestleMania 35?
So the night after, I didn't. Oh. Because, so by the time I got out of the building, so WrestleMania was on April 7th. My match was on April 8th. Okay. The show went about 7 hours long, maybe a bit over. And so by the time I got out and my hair was all crazy and having done interviews and everything like that, I think I got out of the building at about 2:30 a.m. And I got back to the hotel 3:30 and then was up at 5 a.m. So I didn't, for more media and stuff like that. So I didn't have time. I didn't have time to sit and digest. And then it was media in the morning and then right off to Raw that night to get back to work.
Did you go back and watch it at all?
No.
Really?
No.
Do you watch any of your matches?
No, I have a hard time watching my matches.
Why?
So I feel like, and maybe this is wrong, some people like to watch. I kind of feel like I'm in the moment knowing how it's going, because you can hear from the crowd. And so I feel like at this stage I know what I can correct and what I can do.
Okay.
If the crowd hasn't reacted the way that I've wanted them to, that's something that I can hear and know and understand why.
Right.
And so then I like to leave the matches in the past and not dwell on it and on to the next one.
Things got pretty personal, right, between you and Charlotte and Ronda.
Oh, yeah.
Like, how really personal are we talking? Like, did you feel it was very real for you?
The beauty of that story was that it was real and that people felt it. And that was why people got so invested. What I wanted was people to want to see this as the main event. And the way to make people want to see that as the main event was to make it personal. Because there was no way in hell I was allowing this to just be a corporate main event. That it was the first time ever that women were going to main event. And that was probably going to be the case. But it had to be because the people demanded it and not because this was a good publicity move. Sure. And it wasn't. It was what the people wanted, and people stayed to watch the main event, even though it had been 7 hour long show. Yeah. People cared about that story, and they cared because it was personal.
You called her Ronnie. I'm sure she did not like that.
I did call her Ronnie.
Has it ever happened where you feel like, oh, maybe I really hit a nerve there and I didn't mean to?
Yeah, possibly. I mean, probably. I probably do it all the time. But so what I am constantly trying to do is make this industry the coolest, most intriguing thing on TV, the thing that people care about. I want people to be invested. And so sometimes I'll go a little bit far. And if people don't understand that, and oftentimes they don't understand that, well, I'm sorry, but I'm trying to make you money, I'm trying to make me money, I'm trying to make the company money, and I'm trying to make people outside care about what we're doing. I want people to think this is cool. I want it to be higher than it's ever been. Because I love this business. I'm a wrestling fan. I grew up watching it. And when I was younger, I just thought it was the coolest thing in the world, and I want everybody to feel that feeling, and I still think that.
Yeah.
And I want everybody to feel like that, and like, oh God, they're going a little bit far here.
It's smart,
But let
business-wise.
me be in there. Yeah.
Have you talked to her at all since then?
Ronnie?
Yeah, Ronnie.
No, I haven't talked to Ronnie since. I thought she might be on because we were nominated for Best Fight at the MTV TV and Movie Awards, so I thought I might see her there, but I didn't see her.
Oh, she didn't come.
She's been hiding from me. She's been hiding from me since.
From you?
Hiding. She's been hiding. That's what Ronnie
Really?
does. She hides when she loses. We'll see if she comes back.
Oh,
I still want a one-on-one with her. I still want that one-on-one match with her.
You're referring also to UFC, right? When you say she hides after she loses?
Yeah.
Oof.
Yeah, that's what Ronnie does.
Okay.
Yeah, I knew it. I said, but the way to beat Ronda it's not to beat her body, because she's tough as all get up, but it's to beat her mind.
Oh.
And that was what I went after. I constantly went after her mind, constantly mind games, mind games, mind games.
One of your biggest fans and your mentors was the late Dusty Rhodes. And in 2015, his last tweet was that you were great, top 5 of last 5 years, max '1. What would you have said to him that night if you could?
I'd probably just cry and say thank you, Dusty, because I don't know that I'd still have a job if it wasn't for him. Like, I know there was many times when I was on the brink of being fired, and he always went to bat for me. I think Cody put it that Dusty liked his broken toys. Like, if somebody came in, they were the finished product and they were polished. He didn't have any work to do. But if somebody comes in, they're a little disheveled like I was, and a little bit of an outcast and a misfit. He had time for them, and he wanted to help them and see them grow. And I came in just a shell of who I am now, and he was just so supportive. His last words to me, I can't remember. I was just probably driving him mad, like just talking the ear off him. And he just goes, "Shut up, Becky." And I was like, God, that's the perfect last words.
Shut up, Becky.
Shut up, Becky. There's no better last words I'd like to have from Dusty Rhodes. And then he tweeted that out.
You just mentioned that there have been a few times where you almost got fired.
Oh, yeah.
So speaking of which, is it true that the week of WrestleMania, you got texts from people at NXT that they wanted to fire you?
Yeah, that when I was in NXT.
Yes.
Yeah. That I was on the chopping block while I was there. Yeah.
It is true.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Does that bother you?
No, because I didn't get fired. So, like, at the time, that was the most terrifying feeling. But I don't think that's a bad thing. I almost think that's a good thing. It's that fear of losing something and knowing how much it means to you, and knowing that, like, that you... that there is that potential, but that you will do whatever it takes to make sure that that doesn't happen.